Well, the guys I've been talking with, which include guys like John Mearsheimer, I think the only relatively painless way out of this if Russia wins. If Russia gets those 4 provinces along the eastern edge, which is what I think they most cared about right from the start. And I don't think Russia, everyone thinks Putin's trying to reassemble the Soviet Union. I don't think that's true. The most famous quote is Putin saying the most catastrophic thing was when the Soviet Union disbanded. And it sounds like, therefore, he's saying I'm a Soviet Union guy from head to toe. What those quotes invariably forget to mention is that what he said right after that is, he said, because of what it did is released a whole bunch of people who are aimless and directionless. And so the analogy would be as if the United States broke into 50 states. The chaos would be unmeasurable. And for a future leader to say the biggest mistake was to just let the whole thing bust apart, that's a completely rational view of the world right there. So I've been watching Putin. I think I first started writing about him at 16 as this interesting character. And here's what I can tell you I've read every speech. I've watched every video that I can find. He is not insane. He is the most direct leader I've ever seen, actually, where when he gets asked a question and he comes back, you go, whoa, that was to the point, right? And so he'll get asked about whacking oligarchs and he'll come back and say, well, they were robbing us blind. I go, that's true, right? Just look at Bill Browder's story, who, by the way, I don't trust. He doesn't get cornered on questions because he goes straight to what appears to be the truth. Now, I know he's got to be lying, right? He's ex-KGB, he's trained to lie, but he's good. And I've done polls on Twitter where I put 4 leaders and said, which of these leaders is the best leader for their nation? And I'll put Putin against Trudeau and Boris Johnson and Biden, right? And Putin will own the poll, 5,000 votes, Putin will own the poll because the rest of those guys are idiots, right? The rest of those guys are incompetent. Putin is a Russian nationalist, right? If you somehow think Justin Trudeau could run Russia, again, another CAT scan, you're just dreaming. Whoever runs Russia is going to be a tough guy. There's no way around it. If you look at the previous leaders of Russia, Putin looks awfully good in context. Gorbachev would be good, right? He'd be one of the guys you want to key in on. But we've demonized him the whole way. And how many people did Putin kill versus how many people did the United States kill over the last 20 years? And I think it's probably a multiple of 10 fewer people by Putin than by the United States. Statistically, we're the bad guys. This will piss off people, but I'm not doing it because of a love of Putin or a love of Russia. I'm just looking at the numbers.